Parrot Anafi Ai. Now you can fly your drone from another state. Stick around, I'll tell you how. There is no lack of material for these vlogs. Seems like the drone companies are coming out with something new every week, and this is no exception. You remember the company Parrot, the French drone maker? They've just come out with a new drone. So what's different about this one? Well, if you remember, there's a couple other models in the Parrot lineup. The first is the Parrot Anafi Thermal, which we have in our program here. Good little drone, little quirky, thermal capabilities, a really low cost to entry for the thermal market. Good drone. A few weeks ago, I told you about the military version, accepted by the DoD, and that's the Parrot Anafi USA. Pretty tactical in its design, not really meant for the commercial market. So what about this AI? Well, the headline is, it has 4G connectivity. Now, what does that really mean? Well, it kind of means we've just turned our drone into a cell phone. If it's going to communicate between the controller and the drone through the 4G network, as long as you have a good 4G signal, you could actually operate this thing anywhere. So effectively, we have unlimited range. So why is that a big deal for us? I mean, we've only got like 30 minutes of flight time, so why do we need that kind of distance? So let's think out of the box for a minute. Let's say you had a company that had locations around the United States, but you only had one good drone pilot, and he was based in Tampa, Florida. Big job comes up in California. What do? Do you ship him out there? Airfare, rental car, hotel rooms, meals, thousands of dollars in expenses. Or do you have a local employee act as your visual observer, send him to the field, set the drone up with battery and all that, act as the visual observer, and let the guy in Tampa fly it remotely across the 4G network? I think there's some real possibilities there. Now, of course, these days with the FAA limiting what we can do beyond visual line of sight, that's not practical. But it looks like they are loosening those restrictions, and this may very well happen in the not too distant future. Now, what about obstacle avoidance? My Parrot Anafi Thermal does not have that, but the new AI does. And look at this picture here. This is a really odd situation. You have these two stereoscopic cameras on either side of the main camera, and they rotate through a 311-degree arc, meaning you've got forward visibility, downward, upward, and actually eyes in the back of your head to see obstacles. And this apparently works based on the direction the drone is flying and helps navigate through obstacles. Kind of unique, a lot of moving parts here. Not sure reliability-wise how long that'll hold up. A lot different than the Skydio I talked to you about last time. I'll also put a link to the Parrot intro video below, and you can see how this thing works. What about the remaining specs? Well, it's got 32 minutes of flight time, 34 mile-an-hour top speed, 48 megapixel camera, half-inch sensor, 14 stops of dynamic range, a 6x zoom, and 4 of that is lossless, so that's pretty good. Max 4K by 60 resolution, or 1080 and 120 frames per second, giving you some good slow motion effects. It's rain resistant with an IPX3 rating, indoor capable. It's not bothered by cell towers, no interference there. Open source software for developers. As far as security goes, no data sharing without your permission. Now the autonomous modes, you got photogrammetry, you've got flight plan, the waypoints, you've got the cameraman autonomous function, whereby the drone will sit stationary and follow the object like this. You've got smart return to home. Then you have vehicle-based. This means that the drone's going to look for the controller wherever it is, not just the home point. How about concerns? Well, if you look at that gimbal, it looks pretty vulnerable to damage to me, so I'm not real happy about that. Then when they talk about some of these photographic functions, they talk about uploading to the Pix4D cloud. Sounds to me like you have to do that to get it analyzed. Whereas if you remember on the Skydio, that was done locally, and you could preview the information before you went back to the office. So that's a little different. What's the bottom line? I think it's a little too early to tell. Right now, all we've got is marketing hype, an intro video, so I think we got to wait a little bit and see how effective this drone is going to be. But hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned a lot. If you did, give me a thumbs up and please subscribe down below. And if you feel like it, share with your friends. That would be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you so much for watching.